All right, so yesterday we started on 2.4 linear inequalities. We talked about open and closed. Okay, remember closed received the square brackets, open received the curved brackets. We could have one side closed, one side open. Okay, this would be like an and inequality, and or inequalities would go opposite each other. We also talked about the fact that infinity was unattainable, so it always had an open bracket, so a parenthesis. Okay. Where did that go? And yesterday, all right, yesterday we finished all of this, and we were right here at example 3. So everybody find example 3, and now we're going to add something new. Okay. Not really my favorite part of math. It's just not my jam. Okay. But I kind of understand it, and I'll kind of give you some hints that I learned to kind of make my life a little bit easier. So here we go. Compound inequalities. Compound inequalities are and or inequalities. Okay. And inequalities shade towards each other or shade away. Okay. There you have that. Now the graph of a compound inequality with the word and. That's like when x is in between two things, or it has the word and. Okay, is the intersection. Underline intersection. All right. So and is intersection of the graphs of two inequalities. It means like where they overlap. This symbol, please underline this symbol. Okay, that symbol means and. Here's how I remember it. That symbol means and. And, watch. Does everybody see the N in and? You can say yes here.
Yes.
Thanks, Jake. That's N in and matches with this symbol. That's how I know that that symbol, the upside down N or U or whatever you want to call it, is and. Okay, so 2 is less than or equal to x, which is less than 5, means you have two inequalities. X is greater than or equal to 2, and x is less than 5. So when I graph them, all right, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When I graph them, okay, to me, this is confusing, but that's what it actually means. Okay, so this you have x is greater than or equal to, so I have that symbol, and it's opening to the right because it's greater than, and I shade this one. Now, because it's the intersection, I have this other piece that x is less than 5. That's the bracket. Okay, and I'm shading this one. You can see that they overlap right here. So I'm not a big fan of doing both of those like that. So I like this form. Notice, to me, the x is between those two values. X is between the 2 and the 5. So I put my closed bracket at 2 and the open bracket, which is the parenthesis, at 5. And I'm shading between those two. Now, Ed. Ed?
Yeah.
I'm throwing you a softball here, okay? What
All right.
are possible solutions to this compound inequality? Give me.
Say that again.
What?
Say that again.
Give me an answer to this compound inequality. What is the solution to it? It's a softball. Like, here it comes. Nice. It's a lob. Your solutions where like a number in between 2 and 5.
Half of it.
What number is between 2 and 5, Ed?
3.5.
3. 3 is an answer. 3 is an answer because, look, Ed, 3 is between 2 and 5. It's in my shaded area. Ed, could you give me another answer?
4.
4. Could you give me another one, Ed? Get creative here.
Could it also be 2 and 5?
It could be 2. It can't be 5 because 5 has the parenthesis, okay? And 2 has that curved bracket. What about this, Ed? Watch this. Ready? 3.5 is an answer. You like that?
Yeah.
Watch this. 3.6. Pretty good, huh? Any number between 2 and 5, including 2 and not including 5. You okay with that, Ed?
Yeah.
All right. Or inequalities. Or is the union. So I remember and is the intersection and it's the upside down and. So I know or must be the opposite of that. So or inequality means the union and it gets this symbol. Okay? Now, ors are easy. They always have the word or. So I know before I'm even graphing this, I know that my graph is shading away from each other. Okay, they're shading away. So -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's my number line. I'm going to have this, which is x is less than -2 or equal to it. So that's a square bracket. And I'm going to shade to the left. This is a curved bracket. And I know it's shading away from that one. So it's going to be opening to the right. And I shade that way. Cody. Cody?
Yeah.
Cody, question for you. Are you ready for it?
Maybe.
All right. So when your mom or your dad tells you to take out the trash or clean your room, what does that mean?
You have to do it. I don't know.
What does it mean? What if I said this? Take out the trash and clean your room. What do you have to do?
But you have to do both.
What if I say take out the trash or clean your room? What do you have to do?
Either one.
Either one. So Cody, can you give me a number that satisfies either the blue or the red inequality? Give me a number that satisfies one of them.
-2.
-2 is an answer. Hannah, can you give me another answer to this?
-3. Can that work or no?
Yeah. Franklin? Give me an answer. All right, Lance, give me an answer.
-4.
-4. Man, all you guys want to pick that side. Justin, give me another one.
2.
2. Very good. 5, 7. Anything that is basically not in the middle where it's not shaded. Okay? So let's continue on. Solving compound inequalities in your notebook. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to do these 3 problems. Go.
Mr. Harmon,
Yes, Jake.
so when there's a between the two uh inequalities signs, like when it's like negative 2x plus 1, do you have to add the 1 to the other to 9 and like negative 3?
Yep.
So, oh, so you add them to both sides?
Yep.
All right. Thanks.
You got about another minute. Now I'm going to start going over them. All right, let's start doing some of these problems here. Julia,
Yeah.
what would you do in ag?
Add 2 to each side.
Yeah, so we're going to add 2 to the left, the middle, and the right. So negative 7 plus 2 is negative 5. 5x in the middle. 8 plus 2 is 10. Is that what you got, Julia?
Yeah.
All right, I need more room, so I'm going to write it up here. Then what did you do, Julia?
Divided everything by 5.
Yeah, so we're going to divide each piece by 5. So I got negative 1 is less than or equal to x, which is less than 2. Now, Julia, do you know what this graph is supposed to look like before you even do it?
No. Or I don't know.
Well, you should. And here's why. Is it an and inequality or an or?
And.
And you know what and inequalities look like, right?
Yep.
They shade in between, like towards each other. So
Mhm.
before doing this, you should know that I'm going to be shading between two numbers. So let's go ahead and make our graph. What type of like marking am I going to have at -1, Julia? Do you know?
A bracket.
And what am I going to have at 2?
Parenthesis.
And I shade in between them.
Yep.
There you go. Isaac,
Yes.
how did you do big?
Um.
What was your first step, Isaac? You're going to have to talk a little louder.
I was having trouble with it.
Okay. Well, let's focus on what would you do like in the middle? What would the first thing you'd get rid of in the middle? Would you get rid of the times the -2 or the +1?
+1.
So let's subtract 1. Okay. So we're going to subtract 1. And we're going to get -4 is less than -2x, which is less than or equal to 8. Then what would you do, Isaac?
Would I add 4 to 8? No.
Well, remember, focus on the x. So how would you get rid of that times a -2?
Would I add 2 to both sides?
Now, do we add 2, multiply 2, divide, or?
By -2.
Yeah, we're going to divide by -2. And the one thing we need to be careful about right here is what, Hans, what do I have to remember to do in this step?
Which step?
The one I just started.
That you're dividing by a negative?
So what do I have to do? What do you do when you divide by a negative?
You like, I don't know, you divide by a negative. I don't know how to explain it.
Breaking my heart. Flip the sign.
That's what it's called. Yeah.
Oh, you broke my heart. I'm going to go home and cry myself to sleep. All right, so I flipped my signs. Now the thing is you have to flip both signs. Okay? So this is still an and inequality. So let me put my numbers here. Now, x is going to be in between, just like Julia told us, it's going to be in between my two numbers. But it's backwards. My signs are opening backwards. So I like to think is, let's look at -4. Let's look at that one because that's the first one. I know it's on the right-hand side. So here, -4 is going to be a square bracket, but it's going to open to the right towards the 2. And now the 2, I know needs to open to the left, so it points back towards the -4. So I can get my and inequality. And this board is not doing well today. All right, now, Amelia. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, which equation do you want to,
Yeah.
the one on the left or the one on the right?
I didn't get that far. I only got done the first one.
That's okay. Are you caught up now?
Kind of.
All right, I'll give you a second to catch up. That's my bad.
It's okay.
I'll wait for you. I'll walk around my room. It's empty. Sometimes I bring in stuffed animals and put them on the seat so it doesn't feel so empty and lonely.
Are we doing C?
Yeah, we're on C now.
Okay.
All right, so which one do you want to do? The 3y minus 5 or the 2y minus 1?
3y minus 5.
Perfect. What would your first step be?
Minus 3y from all the sides.
Let me get rid of this so you're not focusing on this side. How would you solve that one inequality?
Minus 3y from both sides. So you do -8 minus 3y and then.
Okay, so why would we be
Oh,
moving?
wait, I'm sorry. I messed up. +5. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. So you could do that. I just think it's going to be like a roundabout way to get back to the answer. Okay, so I think if we add 5y like you said and corrected yourself, I think that's the quicker way to do it. So we do that and we have 3y is less than -3. And now what would you do, Amelia?
Divide by 3 on both sides.
And you get what? Y is less than -1?
Yeah.
Okay. This probably looks like a -1 to me, right? Let's just go right there.
Wait. I have a question.
What, Jake?
Did you forget to flip the sign?
No, I didn't divide by a negative.
Oh, I thought it was when you divided.
No, only when you divide by a negative, Jake.
Oh, okay.
All right, so Amelia, we have y is less than -1. I see that word or right there. So it's going to be a open bracket, so the parenthesis, and I'm going to shade this one. Nikki,
Yeah.
I need you to do the 2y minus 1. What was your first step here?
Add y to both sides. I mean, add 1 to both sides.
Okay.
And then you get 2y is greater than 6. And then you divide it by 2 on each side.
You got y is greater than 3.
What? Oh, yeah.
Three.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have a open bracket shading to the right. Nicely done. All right. Got to get through some of these. Translating verbal statements. Super easy. Ready, Mr. Dolan?
Yes.
Awesome. X is more than 3. You ready for this? You want to see how easy this is? More than. It means I'm eating the X. Bam. Problem's done. B is tricky. Why is B tricky? Because it says at most. At most means X has to be less than or equal to 3. Are you okay with that, Mr. Dolan?
Yes.
X is at least 3. Well, this one's kind of weird, just like B. Why would X be less than 3 if it says the word most? Because it says X is at most, that means it can't be bigger than 3. So if it says X is at least, that means it can't be smaller than 3. So that means it has to be bigger than 3. Are you okay with those, Mr. Dolan?
Yeah.
All right, X is no more than 3. What do you think that one is? You tell me.
X is less than or equal to 3.
Mr. Dolan, your voice changed.
That's not him. That's Liam.
Oh, I know it's me. I'm going to have no idea what you guys look like, but I'm going to know your voices. All right, Liam, why do you say it's that?
Because it says it can be no more than 3. So that means it like can't be bigger than 3, so it has to be less than or equal to it.
Sounds good to me. All right, Mr. Dolan. You there?
Yeah.
All right, you got D. What is this one? X is at least 10, but no more than 16.
X is greater than or equal to 16.
All right, so this one's tricky. Do you agree this one's tricky?
Yeah.
All right, so if a number is at least 10, but not more than 16, can you just give me a number that is at least 10, but no more than 16?
12.
12. 12 is what in comparison to 10 and 16?
It's like in the middle almost.
In the middle. So that's where X is going to be. X is going to be in the middle. Now, at least is C. So that means the X is going to be bigger than that. No more than is C. That meant X was going to be less than that. So this is an and inequality. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
All right, your company requires you to select one of 2 payment plans. One plan pays straight $3,000 per month. The second plan pays $1,000 per month plus a 4% commission for gross sales. Write an inequality for the gross sales per month for which the second option yields greater monthly wage. Huh. That's interesting, isn't it? Now, this is why I teach you math. I teach you math because I want you to make the right choice when you're doing stuff. Like, do you choose the Roth IRA or the typical 403B? Well, I don't know. That's why there's math. So if you, all right, are a very likable person and you are good at selling cars, let's say you sell cars, all right? Laura, I'm going to pick on you. Let's say Laura's selling cars, okay? She can either get paid $3,000 a month or she can get paid $1,000 plus 0.4 or 0.4% of her sales. Laura, do you see where I got that from?
Yes.
Okay. Now it says write an inequality for the gross sales. where the commission is greater. So I have to solve this inequality. Laura, is this making sense to you?
Yes.
All right. So I go ahead and solve that. And I got this. Did everybody get that number? I know you probably didn't get as quickly.
Wait, where do you get the 50,000 from?
What's 2,000 divided by 0.04, Jake?
Oh, okay.
Hannah, did you get 50,000?
Yeah.
All right. Now, why would we want to know this? Well, we would want to know this because let's say Laura is very likable. She's bubbly, which she is, okay? And she's good at selling stuff. Well, Laura, would you agree that it's probably pretty easy to sell $50,000 worth of merchandise at a car sales place?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably like 2 cars. So you might choose that option because you're good at selling cars. Now let me pick on Cody. Cody, you still there?
Yeah.
Now Cody likes to go to Dairy Queen. He likes to gallivant around. He's probably not as concerned in selling cars. So Cody might take the $3,000 a month option because he's just okay with that. Does that make sense to you guys? So you got to pick which option is going to make more sense to you. And no, Cody did not go to Dairy Queen last night. All right, Company A rents a subcompact car for $240 per week with no extra charge for mileage. Company B rents the similar car for $100 per week plus an additional 25 cents for each mile driven. How many miles must you drive in a week so that the rental car fee of Company B is more than that of Company A? So this is going to be $240, okay? Has to be less than $100 plus 0.25 miles. So just like the last one, I subtract 100. I get 140 is less than 0.25 m. Gabby, are you there? All right. Well, Gabby, if she was there and able to type it in for me, she would tell me that 140 divided by 0.25 is 560 miles. So you would need to drive more than 560 miles a week in order for Company B to be more expensive. So that's the break-even point, and that's very important to know. Last one of the day, okay? It says your company wants to earn a profit. In order to obtain a profit, the revenue must be greater than the cost. Revenue is the amount earned from selling X units. For what values of X will this product produce a profit if R is 89.95X and C is 61X plus 875? So I do C is less than R. So I do 61X plus 875 is less than 89.95. X, and then we would subtract 61X from both sides. And I'll finish this up real quick. You get 875, it's less than 28.95. And then we divide by 28.95. And we get 31 units. All right. So we would get down here 30.22. And that's why it's 31 units. Because you would have to round up because you can't have part of a unit. All right.